Imagine you walk into your living room and find a trail of shredded napkins leading to your dog. They've got their head down, ears back, and those puppy dog eyes that practically scream, "I'm sorry." We call it the guilty look. We assume they're confessing. But what if I told you that look is actually the first sign of a much deeper, more calculated secret? What if your dog isn't just man's best friend, but also a master of the long con? We like to think of dogs as these pure, angelic creatures, incapable of the kind of shady behavior we see in humans. We see their loyalty and assume it means they're perfectly honest. But science is starting to pull back the curtain on a very different reality. It turns out your dog might be way more manipulative than you ever realized. There's a massive curiosity gap here. If dogs can feel guilt, why does the evidence suggest they're actually lying to our faces?
To understand if a dog can lie, we first have to understand how they think. Scientists call this theory of mind. It sounds complicated, but it's actually a simple social superpower. It's the ability to realize that other creatures have their own thoughts, intentions, and perspectives that are different from yours. Essentially, it's thinking, if I do this, then my human will think that, and they'll do this. This isn't just about being smart, it's about survival. For social hunters like wolves, the ancestors of your pet, this skill was a lethal advantage. A wolf needs to put itself in the shoes of its prey to predict which way it'll run, or work with its pack to set up a silent ambush. They have to understand what their prey can see and hear to stay hidden. Your dog inherited this perspective-taking hardware, and they've spent thousands of years refining it to work on us.
So let's look at that guilty look again. You know the one. The guilty dog groveling at the door before you even know they've done something wrong. For years, we thought this was a confession. But a breakthrough study by researcher Alexandra Horowitz completely flipped the script. She set up a test where owners told their dogs, "Don't eat this treat," and then left the room. Here's the kicker. Some dogs were obedient, and some were surreptitiously given the treat by researchers. When the owners came back, the researchers lied to some of them, telling them their dog had been bad even when they were perfect. The result? The dogs showed the guilty look way more often when they were scolded, even if they hadn't actually done anything wrong. The look isn't guilt. It's a submissive appeasement behavior, a ritualized way of saying, "I can see you're mad, please don't punish me." They aren't confessing to a crime. They're reacting to your tone of voice. But if that's just a reaction, do dogs actually lie? To find out, researchers in Switzerland designed a sneaky dog experiment. They paired dogs with two types of people, a cooperative partner who always gave them treats and a competitive partner who showed them a treat and then pocketed it. The dogs then had to lead these partners to one of three boxes, one with a sausage, one with a boring biscuit, and one that was empty. The dogs weren't stupid. They knew the mean partner would keep the food, so they started getting tactical. They led the nice partner to the sausage almost every time. But when they were paired with the mean partner, they frequently led them to the empty box. They were effectively thinking, "Why should I tell this selfish person where the good stuff is if I'm never going to get it?" By misleading the competitor, they kept the sausage hidden, hoping to get it later from their owner. That's not just a mistake, that's a calculated lie.
And these stories aren't just in the lab. Take the case of two dogs, Tessa and Bishop. One day, they were both given pig's ears. Bishop, being a guardian, dropped his treat to bark at a van arriving in the driveway. Tessa saw her moment. She dropped her own ear, trotted over, snatched Bishop's, and then went back and sat directly on top of her original ear to hide it. When Bishop came back, he searched everywhere,
but Tessa just sat there nonchalantly chewing his treat. Only when Bishop finally gave up and left the room did Tessa stand up and finish her hidden bonus treat. She didn't just steal, she cleverly concealed the evidence of her theft. Another common trick? The fake emergency. Owners have reported dogs who pretend to see something exciting outside, barking and jumping at the window, just to trick another dog into giving up a prime sleeping spot on the couch. The moment the other dog jumps up to investigate the threat, the first dog swoops in and steals the bed. This brings us to the big reveal. Dogs don't just read us, they understand our knowledge states. They know what we know, and more importantly, they know what we don't know. If you're playing fetch and you turn your back, your dog will almost always run around to drop the ball in front of your face. Why? Because they understand that you can't throw what you can't see. They are constantly monitoring our attention. In fact, dogs are more likely to follow a human's misleading suggestion if they think the human honestly believes there's food there. But if they know you're trying to trick them, some breeds, like cooperative retrievers, might still play along, while stubborn breeds, like terriers, are less likely to follow a cue they know is a lie. They aren't just robots following commands, they are social detectives analyzing our intentions.
So, what does this mean for your relationship with your pup? It means your dog is much smarter and more socially complex than we ever dreamed. They aren't just reacting to the world, they are actively trying to navigate it and sometimes manipulate it to their advantage. Their ability to lie is actually a sign of their incredible intelligence and their deep connection to the human world. They've evolved to be the perfect companions, which includes knowing exactly how to push our buttons. So, the next time your dog gives you that guilty look or barks at nothing to get your attention, ask yourself, are they really sorry? Or are they just 2 steps ahead of you? Have you ever caught your dog in a flat-out lie? Let me know the sneakiest thing your dog has ever done in the comments below.